Hey everyone, I just want to tell you about this little invention I made. Bit of background, basically I've got a Twilight Zone which had a ton of toys on it, some of which I took off but some of which I really liked. And it was a bug of getting them all connected up, so I thought I needed a board that would power all of these toys. So I created this motherboard, board that's got basically 4 standard WPC connectors on it for 5 volt and 12 volt. And I also noticed that there's quite a few areas on the table that could do with some extra lights. And there was a toy in the Gumball machine which is pretty dull. It's just basically a strip of multicolored LEDs, and I thought we could probably do better than that. So I then took the idea a bit further, and instead of just having 12 volts coming in and then having that kind of converted down to 5 volts for some of the toys, and 12 volts going straight through the power connectors there, I thought, well, why not have a microcontroller on the board that then I can plug LEDs onto, which I've got a little connector here for. Because I found an open source project on the internet called WLED, which lets you control all of these individually addressable LEDs. You can control them via your app or via a website, or lots of other different ways and means actually, and getting that over time. So what I'll do is I'll demo it to you. So basically there's the board. It's being fed by a 12 volt power supply which will go in my cabinet at the Twilight Zone. Just 12 volts coming out of that into my board and powering it, and as you can see it's powering the microcontroller as well. And then what I've got set up here is a string of individually addressable LEDs, so you can almost imagine this could be my pinball table underneath. And then effectively I can plug these in to the header there, and you can see now that, not a big deal, but the lights have come on, which is a relief. But basically now I can go into my app and I can set those individual LEDs to whatever color I want. They can animate and do all kinds of cool stuff like that. So I'll show you how the app works and how the lights then change. And obviously, you know, you can have just one light or 200 lights. I put quite a strong power supply on here. It's available on both 5 volts and 12 volts to power the LEDs, and on 5 volts you can have up to 5 amps actually. So I think each LED only takes about 50 milliamps, something like that. So, you know, 5 amps gives you scope for literally hundreds of LEDs if you wanted them. All right, so that's just the intro. I'll show you it working. One sec. All right, so this is a WLED app that I'm running on my iPhone. There's an Android version, and you can also run it on your PC. So this is how you configure the LEDs from my little board, basically. So as you can see, you've got a palette here of 3 colors, and those 3 colors essentially let you choose different colors to use in the animations, because I'll come on to effects in a second and it'll show you that there are some effects that can cycle through multiple colors. I'll keep it simple for now. I'll just choose one color from the color chooser. And then basically the second thing you can do is choose what effect you would like to happen on the lights. So the default is solid, so basically the LEDs stay that color. And then the sliders here are just adjusting what brightness levels you want. If there is an animation, what speed that animation should take place. And if there is an animation with changing colors, how intense should the color changes be. So, so in essence, that's the really simple setting. As I say, whatever LEDs are connected to my board then will basically glow the color that you select. Dead simple. So here we go. So again, there's the board. Hopefully you can see this on the screen. And that's got some lights connected to it, and you should see that the lights are kind of synced up with the color that I've chosen. And then if I sort of cycle through different colors, you see that kind of changes pretty much instantly. Yeah, so that's kind of the situation there. And then what I wanted to just show you is if I choose multiple colors here, again, I'm colorblind, so forgive me if I choose a shocking color. Let's try and get some with a bit of contrast. So I've got 3 colors there. I'll change that one to something over here. Now I've got those 3 colors selected on my palette. I can then start playing around with the animations. So here, something real simple, let's say the Android setting. So as you can see, it's pretty awful, but you get the idea. It's just cycling through the different colours as it goes around the LED chain. There's some pretty cool ones, like the breathe one is kind of good. So I was thinking for a GI replacement, get something that is a little bit more dynamic on your pinball machine. And equally, you know, we've got some that are kind of a little bit more subtle. So if we look at dissolve, you've got a bit of a subtle animation going on there. Again, I'm using very dramatic colours to show you the impact of the animation, really. Not that I would choose these colours on my machine. And so on and so forth, really. So heartbeat's kind of cool. I like that one. So if we choose heartbeat. So again, if you kind of chose that with a, let's say a bit more of a neutral colour combination, that might look quite good. I don't know. But there you go, really. And here's a second demo, and I thought this was an important point to mention. The board has actually got on it an integrated circuit that actually boosts the power of the signal to control the LEDs. It's called a level shifter. That's so that you can have long run of wires before you get to the strip. I don't know if you can see there. It's probably about 2 lengths of a play field before you actually get to the to your LED. Because otherwise, if you didn't put the level shifter in there, the signal doesn't actually arrive to the first LED correctly, and you don't get the right instructions coming onto your LED, basically. So basically it doesn't work. So that's an important part of the setup as well. Now obviously there's nothing stopping you from just getting an ESP8266, which is the processor that I've used there, and patching something like this together for yourself. There's absolutely nothing stopping you doing that, and if you're that way inclined, I would definitely recommend it. I guess the benefit of doing it this way is it's all just a bit neater, basically. I just built on my idea that I needed extra power to power the toys, and then I just wanted some lights, so I thought, hang on a minute, why don't I combine the two, and it'll look quite nice, and I think it does, actually. So there you go. Again, any questions, please shout. Cheers.